Okay, we were talking about once you warp strings 5 and 6 over. See down here, you got in perfect tuning, you got 5 and 6, 2 and 3, and then 6, 7 underneath it. Here, once it's warped, it's 5, 6, 2, 3, but no, wait, 6, 7 isn't underneath it anymore. Okay, it moved from here to here. 6, 7 stayed the same. Alright, the thing is, once you warp these strings, everything virtual above it is back to P4 tuning, and it never warps again. Never. For all infinity. There's only one warp. That sounds kind of, not fun. We thought there was like warp 5, Mr. Sulu. Alright, so we can warp whatever we want. It's all going to come out the same. No matter where you put this warp, you're going to find the same cage shapes. They're just going to be displaced in different parts here, over here. I've done it. So let's get to the proof of why one double 7L pattern. We kind of outlined them over here. Let's go back over here where the 7Ls actually have the shape of 7L. See, they didn't have the shape of 7L when the warp was there. Okay, this is unwarped. P4 tuned like a bass guitar. So we should be able to see our 7Ls. Okay, there's a 7, and here's an L. Boy, we can even cheat a little bit and look into the virtual zone. There's a big long 7. Here's a big long L. Then then we have another 7. But what makes it really stupid is that 7 becomes an L above it, like that. So really, we got purple marching down here. We got pink marching down here. We've got green marching up that way. What a mess! What a mess! But we can handle it. So what I wanted to say is you got a double 7L. Now where is it? I can tell you where it is by using the method that a double 7L contains all 5 cage shapes. Alright, so this is the fretboard. Now, you see how this 5 goes to this 5? It doesn't matter. We know that's where the A-shaped C is. This is it's in the key of C because we have a yellow R here, and C is the yellow key, and G is the red key. Okay, so we know we have this. We have the beginning of the A shape. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got 2 shorts here, which is the top 2 of a S3S. Here's the bottom of that S3S, but that's in the no string zone. We got the 5 and the 6 and the R and the 2. Stacked on top of that is an S2L. Okay, there'd be a 7 here if it was diatonic. I'm trying to stick to pentatonic, it's easier. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, R. That's an S2L. There's a little bug in here. These guys are crazy. They climb up and fly down, and they just go, whew, and they're gone, Then they land. They have to climb up somewhere else and fly down again. So anyway, this is a 7L starting right here. Okay, and it's also an A shape. All right, so as you know, as most guitarists might know, from the red 5, which is the G. Of course, with this A flat instrument, it would be an E flat, but strictly tone wise, but we consider it a G here. If I tune my strings up to a perfect D on here, it would be a G. Okay, that is the A. Ba, 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 ba. So now the 7L thing, starts like over here. In this case, the 7 looks like it's more of a purple 7. All right. And we have like almost half of that A here. So that's why it's getting a little confusing, and I can straighten it out in the next chart. In the next chart. Not that chart. over here. This is the most recent. This is the chart of the day. Here's your red 5. See how it's shaped like the G key on the piano. Here is the double 7L. There's no more guesswork here. This has all been done. Alright, first half of the A or string 3C shape before the tuning warp, I left the U out there, is applied. Okay? So what it means is, here's the double 7L. Alright, this stuff here where it's like a little detached, that's other double 7Ls, you know, coming in on the fringe. But this is one of them. We caught one of them in the act right here. Ba-ba-bum, right in the fretboard window. The thing is that it's the A shape that starts on the 5. And what happens? We can't do a whole A shape, but if we go over here and fill in this missing note from the other 7L on the fretboard window, that's our 5/6. So I took this last part, okay? I took this last part, which also borrowed from the C. The C is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7R. Okay, then 2, 3, 5, 6. All right, then R2 and 3, 5 again. You know, that's C. This must be warped. Is it warped? No, it's not warped. So the C would go, here's its S2L, and here's an S3S, and then the other one would just sit right on top of it. Okay. You can't play a unwarped pattern on a warped guitar. It doesn't make any sense. So we'll just keep on the diagram. So there's your C. We're going to borrow from that C these last 2 frets and put them over in front of this. But remember, these frets were part of this part right here. The white ones were part of this 7L pattern. When you bring this over to here, it completes the A. So we've got our 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, and then it's not warped, so it's 2, 3, 5, 6 justified to the left. Okay, so we have that again right there. So it'd be 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6, root, and then straight up, just like our A should be. Okay? Alright? So the 7L does contain all 5 cage shapes. Now you can ignore the D2, C2, D1, C1, and C3 stuff. That is from lesson 10 and 9, which we talked about, which was if you start any of these other shapes from a different string, they become, so start a C from string 1, it becomes a C. Okay, makes sense. Start a D from string 2, from the 2 note in C, that would be the D note. That's not this D. It doesn't mean that it's that D note. Because if you were in the key of G, 2 would be A, right? So the thing is, if you start this C shape from the 2nd string up, all right, you go up there, and when you hit the warp there, you'll do it down here on a warped drawing. 3, 5, 6, R, 2, 3, warp. Okay, so instead of going for our, we have one up here, okay, on the regular fretboard, starting from the 2nd. When we start that 2 on the 4th string, excuse me, 4th string, we start that 2. Here's the 4th string, 2, 3, 4. When we go to the 5th string, we don't just go straight up here. Okay, that 2 has to go to a warped 5, over like that. It's going to be over like that. And then back to regular. So when you're at 5, you go back to the regular pattern. These are the master 2. These are the 2 building block patterns that are the best that I've seen. It gives you the characteristic shape of an E. Now, why is that? Okay, because you start a C from the 2 and you end up on top.